Why Gen Z loves to overshare online but not in real life. Black screen in typing, sounds notifications. Echo. Gen Z has a secret, one that's been hiding in comment sections, close friends, stories, late-night confessionals, and anonymous apps. We are the generation that will say nothing at the dinner table, and then reveal our entire emotional history to complete strangers online. Why? Why can we talk publicly, but not personally? Why do we fear vulnerability in person, yet crave it in pixels? This is not an accident. This is psychology. Let's analyze the psychology of the Gen Z, the safe distance montage of screenshots, DM, private stories, and vent videos. Researchers call it distanced disclosure, when personal information feels safer because there's a screen between you and judgment. Online, rejection is abstract. It's buffered. It doesn't look you in the eyes. In real life, vulnerability demands presence. It demands consequences. But online, you can close the app. You can turn the phone face down. You can delete the story before anyone replies. Oversharing becomes a way to feel seen, without being known. The audience that understands this generation didn't grow up around people who understood, but we did grow up with people who could observe. If you didn't have the friend who got it, you could post it. And the internet provided what real life often didn't. An audience. Not a family, not a confidant. An audience? And audiences don't interrupt. They don't correct. They don't sigh. They don't say you're being dramatic. They just watch, and sometimes, if you're lucky, they comment. Same. For a Gen Z, same is a kind of therapy, the doom of reality in real life. Conversations get messy. Feelings change the air. Tone shifts. A pause becomes uncomfortable. A tear becomes too loud. Real-life vulnerability is high stakes, but on the internet, vulnerability becomes content. It becomes organized, edited, controlled. You can curate your pain, and pain, packaged correctly, goes viral. The digital confessional Gen Z didn't abandon religion. We built new confessionals. They're called comment sections, group chats, mutuals, anonymous apps, burner accounts, close friends. Places where truth isn't punished. Places where oversharing feels like breathing, because the internet gives us something the real world rarely does. A chance to speak before being labeled. The trauma marketplace screens flash. Storytime, trigger warning, POV. For the first time in history, trauma has a language. It has templates. It is Henris. It has aesthetics. Gen Z didn't invent pain. We just learned how to make it legible. Because if you can name a feeling, you can survive it. But there's a dark twist. Once trauma becomes content, silence becomes suspicious. Privacy becomes abnormal. If you don't share, are you okay? Or are you hiding something worse? Oversharing becomes currency. The cost of being known in person, being known is terrifying. Once someone knows you, they can hurt you. Not abstractly, not with emojis, but directly. Online being known is an illusion. The internet never knows you. It knows your narrative, the curated story, the aesthetic version, the one with the right angle and the right caption. Oversharing online doesn't reveal you. It protects you from the version of you that actually matters. The paradox here is the paradox. Gen Z overshares online because it is the only place we feel safe being honest, but we refuse to share offline because it is the only place honesty can hurt us. Privacy didn't die. It simply relocated. And now what? The type-in returns. One last notification. The real mystery isn't why Gen Z overshares online. The real mystery is what happens when the screen disappears, when the friend sits across from you instead of behind a username, when the confession isn't a post, but a voice. Will we still speak? Or were we only brave when no one could touch us?